why I put premium in the title, because people think that premium is like Ferrari, but I have a little bit of different definition of premium luxury, because to be honest, most of these things are stupid. And even if you listen to them Bilzerian, hedonism is not an answer, and it will not make you happy for long. You can buy a new car, get new girl, but that's not the happiness. And most of the people expect some established brand to be premium because they have high prices. And that's the further from premium that you can get. And you know, they do these like hard to get things playing on human psychology. Like for a Rolex, for example, you need to apply, and then if you are chosen, of course, eventually everybody's chosen, but you need to wait, and then after you wait for 1 year and you get message that now you are finally chosen, of course you wanna buy because you waited for 1 year and now you're chosen, you got this opportunity that nobody else got. But actually the watch is just a regular one that I have watched here on the phone. There is no real value on it, and also when they say that it holds value only if you can find another stupid person that is willing to buy it for a higher or for the same price as you did. But there is no real value, there is a lot of perceived value. So I want to talk about this perceived versus real value and why this matters. I mean, it doesn't really matter because you can choose whatever you want. Now, if you want to play on perceived, I mean, for me, it's better if we play perceived value. So I want good for you. Now I'm basically destroying business sites. Uh, but because I'm also a consumer on the other occasions, I want people to have normal standards and to actually so create the better life for the future. So now the question is, do you prefer perceived value products, or do you prefer companies to focus, to invest, to develop, to research real value products? Because now if we talk about Rolex watch, where is there real value? There is no real value, because watch, maybe if you were a pilot 100 years ago, you actually needed a watch because it was showing you parts of the like north south, but today watch is useless. And now if we look at Zaki Star flip-flops, what I'm doing now, you see they have real pebbles. So I collected pebbles from river, and now I will put this on the glue. So this is real value, because I worked with physiotherapists and we tested how we are designed to walk. If I ask you, we are designed to walk barefoot, and that activates more muscles, it's better blood circulation. So if you wear Zaki Star flip-flops for 3 weeks, your feet will physically change. People with flat feet don't have flat feet anymore. So now I ask you, do you want to create a world where perceived value is more important? So I just say, oh, these flip-flops are better because they are Zaki Star brand, and this brand made flip-flops for 200 years, even for kings and queens. So this is like a premium brand. It's super expensive, it's hard to get, it's handmade. So you need to pay 1,000 euros for these flip-flops, and I make some social proof events and maybe some marketing, and I scam you, and then I give you some opportunity to buy them cheaper for discount, and you will jump on it and you get terrible product but perceived value. So now I want to kind of educate people and followers and subscribers to be a bit more critical when you buy. Ask yourself, is this really what you need, or you just buying it because they basically tricked you into buying? Because if you look at clothes, all the clothes are made in China, and now you are paying for one shirt $50 just because they told you that this is, I don't know which brand, Loro Piano, or I don't even know these brands, but this shirt is still made in China and it has zero benefits over this shirt. You see, this shirt is the same material, okay, color is different, but you can change, you can order directly from China, different colors, custom made stuff, whatever you want. Hello, India chicken. You must be from India, huh? So basically what I want to tell you now with this is that if you look, for example, McDonald's, everybody knows that McDonald's is not good for you, like health wise. The taste can be good. I don't judge, I don't eat McDonald's. But the point is that every time you go to McDonald's, you bring them money. So when you bring them money, they have money to market, to sell more, to open new restaurants. So when you go to McDonald's, not only that you are destroying your body, you are also financing the whole like values that they represent. So basically, when you go to McDonald's, you support unhealthy lifestyle, you support this their real estate like agency almost. If you see, McDonald's is on all the best spots, so they're buying land, they're in real estate business. And what I want to say is that consumers have the power to create trends and to create the future, because if imagine if nobody went to McDonald's for next 3 years, they would just go out of business, and people would not make McDonald's anymore. Or if they would find the reason that nobody is going to McDonald's because it's not healthy, they would be forced to make healthy food to attract back customers. So you see, basically the mass population has the power to create the future. So basically our situation now, with all the unhealthy people and with all the sick, fat, terrible lifestyle people, it's not because big companies or pharma or somebody forced us in this way. It's because people, you choose it. Also me, but I don't count myself into this talk because I really don't eat McDonald's, I don't smoke, I drink only water, I don't drink sugar drinks. So that's why I'm quite healthy and yeah, in shape. So basically that's the idea that Zaki Star as a brand, I will show you this. You see Zaki Star, the flip-flops, you see. This is basically the revolution of the world. It's not just the product, but it's the revolution. Because also if you see now with this Epstein class people that don't pay taxes, they rape people, they're just terrible people, and they're still all free. And then you look at where they get money from, they all have big companies, and are buying from these companies. I know sometimes it's hard because we basically like want some things, but like with phone, if you want iPhone, you will not look at buying some other brand just to have a phone, because phone will, I don't know what you think, but yeah, people are so stupid when you think about that. Because for me, brand has zero value. For me, brand is just a brand. But now, if something is actually better than the other, then I will try to pick better brand, better value. But most people look, oh yeah, I'm Apple fan, I will buy Apple. But I don't say now that Apple is good or bad. I'm just saying that if people need to be more conscious when they're buying things, because they don't think about all these, like butterfly effect, when you buy one thing that actually you support how it's made. Now, for example, I'm making this live here with hands. It takes a lot of time. You can check recommendation with physiotherapists. I did all research, so this is real deal, and it's 200 euros. And now, what what would you do? Do you think it's fair if I would sell this, if I would make some kids, and this would be made by kids, and I wouldn't pay them, and I would sell this for 200 euros, and it's probably even worse quality because kids don't know how to do it properly, and I don't pay them because they're kids. And you would probably say, oh no, no, I don't support that, I will not buy your flip-flops then. Okay, but you are buying Nike, and Nike is making this in China, and if you are talking about Apple workers in China, the people who actually make the phones, have net on the windows because there were so many suicides that they had to put net on the window so people didn't kill themselves. So now imagine that you buy iPhone to be a badass, but people are dying because they are working in so terrible conditions. And for example, I'm working here under the tree. Today was raining, so it's not that hot, but kind of enjoying the freedom. So can you see the difference what you support? And both products are expensive. If you will buy Nike shoes, I heard they're like 140. And also if we go now one step further, they're 140 euros, and if you look at the health contribution, they're actually damaging your feet and they're damaging your body. So basically you are paying 200 or 150 just to destroy your body, but to gain like state status or what, I don't know. I would really need to ask some girls if they actually care what what brand the guy is wearing, or if it's more about design, because I believe it's just about design. And if you want to save money, the quickest part is that you just order directly from China, because there is, like, you have these pedal boards, and pedal boards are also made in China for like 50 euros, but there is a lot of brands then that they are like selling this on their own website. And if I would be like a president, I would really try to limit how you can present products, because if you're not making your product, then you are just reseller. So you should have like a notice somewhere that you are not actually the producer of the product, like with the with the Apple thing, if we go back to Apple, there is written not made in China, because of course nobody likes that, but they put on like designed in California. So what the fuck? Who cares if it's designed in California, if it's made in China then? So you see how they play these tricks with us just to sell you things to make it look better, like Grey Goose vodka. It was just a worse vodka. On blind test, Grey Goose vodka ranked number 8 out of 12. So basically lower part of vodkas. But then in real life it's like 3 times more expensive, and they build this brand around, and people are thinking that Grey Goose is like something premium. Even when I was talking with my friend who like drinking vodka, he thought that Grey Goose vodka is more quality, but actually it's not more quality. It's just better marketing. So I want to educate people about the power of marketing and the real situation in the fashion, and especially fashion, because you know it's hard to make this shirt better than other shirt. Basically in clothes, you know, those big brands, they don't see how they can improve value, how can add value. So what they do, they change color, they change design, and then they try to sell you like, oh, this is new trend, last year trend is not good anymore, you need to buy this because this is now popular. But it's not even better, it's just different color. So that's also the problem, because people still buy it. Hello XXXXI20. You can ask questions about Zaki Star, about healthy living, about whatever you want actually. We can talk random topics also. I kind of travel a lot. I'm 31 years old, so I have some experiences in life. So yeah, I'm doing this for 10 years. So this year is like a 10-year anniversary of Zaki Star. If you don't know yet, if you just joined, Zaki Star flip-flops have natural pebbles on top. So when you walk, you actually walk like you're walking barefoot. And the idea came when I was walking with my dog by the river, and it felt nice. I was barefoot and my dog enjoyed, so I wanted to walk on pebbles all the time. So I created flip-flops with pebbles. But I didn't know it's so healthy, because you know, people say, ah, barefoot walking is healthy. Also, my father was telling me that on the beach I should walk barefoot all the time because more muscles are working and stuff like that. But you know, you take this just like, yeah, father's advice. Okay, maybe it's not even true, you know. You never trust every advice. That's why I'm also telling you, don't trust me, do your own research. I did mine, and I'm not like telling you what to do, because you know that's the funniest part with all these like influencers and all these people who basically tell you to think with your own head, but they're telling you what's the reality. I mean, I'm telling you what I did as a research. You don't need to listen, you don't need to believe me, but just start researching how wide are our fingers on the feet, and you will see that people in tribes have fingers just normally like this, just like this, not like this. And today they did all this marketing to convince people that having fingers like this is not good. So now they sell them things to put fingers more apart. Marketing will just fuck you over. And you will buy stupid shit that you don't know. And the problem today is that we came so far that we don't compete on quality anymore or on value anymore. Because in the past, if you were the best shoemaker in town, everybody recommended you, and of course you had the most business, and if you were not better than this shoemaker, you didn't get sales, and you died, and there was only few shoemakers, and those were the best. But today, because everything is global and you can always find new customers, things are not fixed anymore. So brands stopped competing on value, on product, because they don't need to, and now they're proud when they found things, when they actually just improve the marketing. It's kind of sad that if you know Rory Sutherland, he's like David Ogilvy advertising firm. That's like the guy that started this. I was reading about him. He was like the father of modern propaganda. And also, if you take, for example, smoking, why people smoke? This is just the power of marketing. How can you convince people to do something that will hurt your life? You will get bad teeth, you will smell like shit. Basically, there is zero, and I mean zero, benefits of smoking. It's hurting not only you, but also everybody around you. But if you go watch movies, you will see that all the bad boys, the good guys, all the cool guys, they have cigarettes and they're smoking like piece of shits. So then you watch these movies and you want to be a cool guy like Clint Eastwood, and you start smoking because you're stupid, because you don't have your head to think with. So yeah, don't believe me, don't believe anybody. Just do your research and think. Think with your head, because people will sell you all the shit. And ask yourself, for example, think, are we designed to walk barefoot, or are we designed to walk with high heels that or insoles? Even the idea that we need support, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what kind of support? Like our body, our feet has 29 muscles. Our feet is one of the most complex systems in our body. It's easier to transplant heart than feet. And there are companies that will try to convince you that you need shoes, that you need like insoles, that you need support. Like Birkenstock, for example. Birkenstock is the biggest scam in footwear history. They're promoting this art support scam, and they're promoting this as healthy. Imagine that. And now imagine that people don't understand how the body works. They don't do their own research, and they believe this propaganda. So today, when you hear people, normally these are like stupid Americans. Um, they think they're super smart, but actually they are not. And they will say, "Oh yeah, I have these Okunawi or Okai flip-flops. I don't know exactly the brand, but it's some expensive shit that has arch support." And then I ask them, why do you think it's good? Why do you think this footwear is good? And they say, they have arch support, they're super comfortable. So basically the measurement for good footwear is completely wrong. And everybody, I don't know. My feet never hurt, and I'm wearing flip-flops all the time. And now you ask me who's the weird person here. Maybe people who have feet problems and they have all this pain, or me who are just exercising my feet. And that's actually a good point for video, for Instagram, actually for short form, because basically it's a very good point. I don't have pain, and also I don't have. I made 50 kilometers in 12 hours with Zaki Star flip flops, and now I would like to see how many people made 50 kilometers in one day with shoes. Because everybody is seeking this stupid comfort, but nobody is understanding that comfort is like a zone. You probably heard about comfort zone, but you can expand comfort zone. So if you are buying comfortable shoes, your feet will become weak. But if you will buy shoes that are hard, like Zaki Star flip flop, your feet will become strong. So as you can see, I put real pebbles on that activates muscles and bring you all these real benefits. Because for example, if you can't make 100 push-ups, that's out of your comfort zone now. But you can train, you can get better, and then you can make 100 push-ups or whatever you do. Basically, I just wanted to give you example of actually expanding your comfort zone, because people think that you're just like stuck, that you need comfortable shoes because otherwise your feet will be in pain. That's like the biggest scam in, I don't know, but everybody is thinking like that. It's super sad when you go deeper into this topic, because people actually don't understand that comfort can be changed, destroyed, adapted. Body always adapts. So there is no reason that you buy comfortable shoes that will make your body weaker and destroy everything. And it's all the same with food and all of this shit. They're selling you pills, comfort, supplements, just everything that would make your life like easier. And look where we are now. There is like the most depressed society, the most fat society. It's like terrible society. People 1,000 years ago were much more healthy and happy, and they lived a better life than today, when you have all technology on the tip of your fingers. So imagine what we did. We created so much comfort that basically even the fact that you have electricity, you have food. Imagine the life of a king. Imagine life of the king of Britain 500 years ago. He lived in cold place, in castle. He couldn't travel far. Maybe he went like from London to Paris in like 3 months. Uh, he ate only like basic stuff like eggs, meat. No way he even saw bananas. And even if, no, I don't even think, because it takes too long to bring bananas from the south. So probably King of England never had bananas. I don't know what they slept on, but beds were definitely worse than today. Traveling was basically non-existent. So every piece of shit today is living better than King of England, like 500 years ago. No electricity, no heating, no, basically nothing, no phones. You wanted to call your friend in another country, you send a letter that arrived after 4 months. And today people complain because girl doesn't respond after 5 minutes. Or on the opposite side, the girl is depressed because the guy didn't respond in 3 days. It's just like the same concept. I want to say that the comfort expands or it shrinks. So basically you adapt to whatever it is. Like Dan Bilzerian said, you can fuck 10,000 girls and then you will just adapt to this. You will just become okay. This is like my basic lifestyle now. So now if I don't fuck 10,000 girls, I'm depressed, you know. That's how life works. When you buy first dream, whatever you want, dream house, it's like, oh yeah, you're happy for 1 month. Or if you look at lottery winners, every lottery winner is on the same spot after 3 months, or I think even 2 months, maybe three. I will need to check the research to refresh the memory. But yeah, the basic idea of Zaki Star is that comfort is not the solution for anything. Also, Bilzerian said that not specifically about comfort, but hedonism. He said, of course, it's fun, but it doesn't bring lasting happiness. And here you see that it's the same background, like we are not designed for this, you know. We were not designed to just lay on the beach for till the last of your life. Only if you are satisfied, only if you are maybe broken. Because the reason that we are here today is because some crazy guy jumped on a boat and just explored the world and wanted to go out of the cave. Because if we would be happy with our situation, if we would not seek growth, we would still live in caves. We were pretty safe there. We had food, we had everything in caves and in the forest. But yeah, we improved a lot and we have definitely like better life. I mean, we have possibility to have better life than like 500 years ago or 2000 years ago, and healthcare and basically medicine can do wonders today. Like Alexander the Great, the greatest conqueror of the world that couldn't die in the battle, was killed by a disease at 32 years old. So next time that you complain about pharmacy or some medical, think about Alexander the Great, the greatest general, couldn't be killed in the battle but died at 32. And then you have Roman Julius Caesar, who basically only started his journey at 32 and then he took over, and I think he died at 54. And now I'm not sure, but I think he died on March either. So yeah, learn. That's the only way. Learn how your body works so you can actually be expert for yourself, you know. Learn what food you need to eat. Because also you can see some people are stupid and they invented veganism. This should be just banned if you are under 18 years old and you are forced, your parents force you to not eat meat and this shit, they should just go to prison. Because every kid should have opportunity to grow, to develop, to be normal. Because if you don't eat meat, you don't get enough energy for your brain, and your brain needs a lot of development. So that's why a lot of people then have retarded kids. And then they will blame COVID vaccine. Maybe don't force your kid to eat terrible food. Some people think that it's random that when we started eating meat, our brain got bigger and we took over the social hierarchy of the world. Because before we were just one of many. Then we started eating meat, we got bigger brain, and with our ability to think, that's pretty incredible stuff. I would have to research more if we even know what happened, why we started thinking. A lot. Whoa, what is this? If you have any questions, you can ask. And basically, while I'm talking, I'm making flip-flops with Pebbles because I want people to be healthy for the lack of a better word. So yeah, the basic idea is that you need to learn how your body works. And I wonder, where is Sandra? Sandra joined. Okay, check the beauty. Subscribe if you like healthy natural lifestyle, if you like some value actually.